Yep.
Yeah, we're driving today without. Dad's not here, so he left us in charge.
He'll come back in a bit.
Yeah, he's got some stuff to do. But thank you for everybody for being here. Hope you're having a good time. Like we said before, I want to say special thank you to Raid and Trade for doing this. It's always important to see the streams here done for Digimon tournaments in Europe. People want to watch Digimon. People love this game. And we think we're in a pretty good spot for people to be able to get a chance to watch. So thanks again to them. Thanks again to SmartGuard for helping keep the lights on here for us. They're biodegradable. So if you're sick of leaving trash everywhere and you don't want to have like microplastics lying around in your life, consider SmartGuard. You got anything else you want to say? I'm gonna plug. If you guys don't know who we are, hi. Usually you guys see a different guy here. Marcio and I, from a podcast called Misplay for Game. You might find it on youtube.com/KnTElixar. Check us out there. Marcio also on a YouTube channel. It's just KB's YouTube, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And I'm a ghost on the internet who used to stream.
But yeah, I'm gonna switch over to the BRB screen for just a second, and we'll be right back.
Sounds great.
Welcome back, everyone, here for round number 6. I believe we're going to have a returning player here, Prouder. Let me bring up the screens here for you guys while I get set up. We see here Tom making his way back just in time.
I'm never late. I'm always when I need to be here.
Yeah. So I believe this is going to be 2 returning players. We're going to have Prouder versus Roroy, I believe, also goes by like Ossipum or something. So it'll be Levia versus Imperial. Now, let me see if I can change here something. So instead of having both of us, what if I just... Do you want to have both of us on the screen with the gameplay? Or do you want
both of us.
or do you want to just go to the main one?
You and me while we do the setup, and then we'll switch to the main one when things are underway. Make sure better clips for Andrew later on, I think.
Okay. So, let me
So Levia and Imperial.
Levia Imperial. This matchup,
it's a tricky one.
I think it's very like Levia favored.
I agree.
Let me swap out the names here. Player 1 name. It was like Roroy, right?
Yep. Perfect.
And then for the player 2 name, it was Prouder?
Prouder. Proweder. Nice.
All right.
We're so back, chat. We can spell.
And we are on round, what, 6?
Yeah, geez, round 6 already. Thanks for hanging with us, everybody. Appreciate you being here.
2 more to go.
Did you have your soup, Gabe?
Huh?
Did you have your soup?
I didn't. Not enough time. If this matchup goes a bit quicker, might take a quick lunch break. You know, we'll see.
You know, keep it in a little cup. Keep it like a thermos.
Nah, I'm a...
he comes back, that water bottle he's got there is full of tomato soup.
Just
and
soup.
It's red. It's just like a red cylinder.
Right. Looks like Prouder is happy with the result, and right here is good to go.
The timer underway, as presumably match time has started.
Yeah.
Nice one.
And I can definitely bring us over to the gameplay here. Let me untoggle some.
Oh, look, it was already where it needed to be. You just need to swap burst mode for like a Imperialdramon.
Where is this dummy card? All right. What do I need? Like a pile?
I'm thinking pile BT16.
You don't want BT12?
Imperialdramon BT12? Yeah, I thought about it for a minute.
All right.
I want to get us in trouble in case they're actually not playing that card. This is a random little programming note here. I always think it's really good to do your security like 1 card at a time when you're playing webcam with your opponent. Like, I've seen a lot of people, like, I've played games where people will just be like, I'm holding a brick of cards, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm like,
Lop X to start off with is less than ideal.
Yeah, hardly an Ukomon, is it? We'll see how quickly Prouder hits the ground running. This is the thing. Imperial in this one is really up against the clock. And this is a way to make yourself go faster, I suppose. I'm not necessarily... The thing with Daiken, chat, if you haven't read the card, is it plays a Digimon by an effect.
Which triggers not only the rookie that you played to... I mean, you effectively lose the rookie
you lose
you played.
One in hand. Yeah, it turns Leviamon into hand rip.
And we're going to see here a very aggressive push here from Roroy. He knows that, like, Imperial is a deck that you can very often punish early.
Yep.
Don't let him play the game. Go quick. Set up the
Levia trash. Hachimachi. Here we go.
This is incredibly powerful here. Even if you just go into like Cerberus, you're already in like such an advantaged position. As long as he has exactly, you know, this is not the worst. This is not the worst. Ooh, that's a lot of...
that is a lot of Levia X's. Thank God one's been seen to already.
What are we taking?
Surely it's Ruin mode.
I think
it's so key in this matchup.
However, he's going to have to loop this Levia X like a bunch, because like he's not going to have access to the other copies. The deck typically plays 3, and we saw 2 getting bottom deck. I actually think that you don't need Ruin mode for this matchup. you just domed them like way too hard for you to ever need to ruin mode them, because you're constantly taking away their stuff.
Ruin mode is a lot better when you had a turn like turn 1 for Roroi was, where you have to basically kind of give up your turn 1 advantage. So I don't necessarily think the ruin mode is a waste pick here. I do agree with you that like they're gonna need to keep this ruin mode, this Levy X in trash.
Double paladin,
but it doesn't hurt when they lose one of their ways to interact with the trash really early. So there are avenues for Powder to control this, but like, you know, we've not seen Megadeth. So if this Levy X goes anywhere, I bet you it's going back to the trash.
It could also be a case of like the fact the Roroi just doesn't have.
Holy moly, that is a good 2 first cards.
Didn't have a level 5, but looks like we're missing a level 4 anyway. Wow.
See, this is tough. I'm not necessarily sure I agree with the line. Like, why was this the turn you decided to go? I mean, blue and a green.
I mean, sometimes it's just like getting the deck going, and like
yeah.
I mean, if you're the Levia plate, you feel great here. Like not being able to get punished, maintaining like you have a free Evo, you have a boost, you have the draw off of the Tsunamon. You feel pretty great.
Yeah, in a very strange way, actually paying 1 for Lop X was a pretty good way to strip all of the tempo from Powder's side, because normally they get given 2 or 3 and get to play the game a little longer.
Also, because the Imperial deck populates so much, we're going to see here Boost being cracked first, followed by a Binding Crush. Does he have a Demon Lord? Oh, this is perfect.
It's even better.
Gets to also draw 1 off of the Suno. So, this Binding Crush actually went like +2, which is kind of crazy.
Wowee, what a line.
And now what? You can't Daiken, because if you Daiken, the Crocodile comes out. Don't want to do that. So I think he's just playing for follow-up. Yep. But the problem with playing for follow-up is that the BT12 pieces is belligerent and, as strong as they are, they play into Gazimon. So if he finds a 5, he's happy to just kind of sit on this Gazimon. It's actually like insanely powerful against Imperial, these memory floodgates.
It's going to go a long way this matchup into like keeping it so that we can set up, because like much of Leviamon's win condition in this kind of matchup is like, it's made a lot better, I will say that, by knowing that the Imperialdramons are accounted for, the Paladin modes are accounted for and not in security. But a lot of this like kind of line to win against an Imperial player is sort of just like 3-check, unsuspend, 3-check, clear your stuff, maybe a Gazi for game. Like they want to play that kind of methodical, like full send, 1 turn, end the game the next turn. And in the absence of the threat, it does something to do that.
Taking the level 4, do you think that we just put level 4 in the back to...
Oh, like 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, you just commit. It is as many cards you can get into your hand to find options for you to play with as possible and as quickly as possible.
Now, the only sort of like issue here is that, assuming that we have like Cerbex plus like Octo, we're happy to like play out a rookie. Let me count. No, you actually don't want to play out a rookie, but you need to get memory somehow. Maybe things are actually, I mean, Dragomon is also like a way to do it, I suppose. Like you can go Dragomon, force them to play out the Veemon, and then trigger the Levy X in your trash.
For sure.
And you take out the Daiken and the Veemon, and you can push like a ton of damage while also...
You like the Daiken here as the target?
I think the Daiken is like always the correct target.
Stops from losing your protoforms and stuff.
Yeah, like against Levia, you typically don't want to get as Levia, you don't want to get your Star shipped, because like that's like a big investment.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure that you can use that those memory ESSs and those draw ESSs like turn after turn after turn.
For sure.
So
that's a crazy discard pile on turn 4.
We're just kind of playing the game here. For what's worth, we now have a level 5 on with Protoform under, so definitely cannot play.
Daiken is a board wipe. It's a self board wipe.
And we haven't really seen the BT16 Dragon modes. We've only really seen the Star Deck one, so he's definitely going to need that insane Floodgate level 6 to actually play through all this disruption, or like the idea of this disruption.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, like how much of the pressure here is on Roroi, where it's like Gazimon sat there, 5 protoform, like. Is there a need to continue to develop this board, or do we just now like, is it time to go back to the mailing room and just go training boost every turn.
Well,
Because like you're not being pressed to start swinging yet,
no,
and it could conceptually get bad again if you do.
So as the Imperial player, right? So if we calc what he has available to him here, he can evolve for 2, right? And then he only gains 1 off of the Daiken, but he can suspend he can suspend both, right? Because you trigger the Daiken, Source Strip, and then suspend, so you can then swing over both of them and like effectively like reset the game state.
Absolutely.
And I think that's like the way to go about it. If you only have, say for example, the start deck Imperialdramon, then you feel a little bit worse. And look at that. We do get to butt deck the Gazi, so that's nice.
There's a really tough break here, though. I mean, this is the sort of moment where Primogenitor comes through, though. Like return to the Primogenitors is the kind of card that saves you in this situation.
Yeah, swing and suspend. He gets to draw 2. Return.
Not playing around the Melga Ace.
So
training.
He needs to. He definitely needs like a BT16 Dragon mode. Like that's his out here.
Primogenitor Dragon mode. Show me the goods.
Primogenitor Dragon mode, HPD Dragon mode, like anything. Just a 2-card combo. Easiest way. You've drawn like 7 cards as Imperial, right? They should always have it.
You'd have thought, right?
Swing.
Try 1 more card deep.
Gobley's fine. But we have, like, even if you just evolve into fighter mode, like, you need to clear this level 5. Under no circumstance you can let this level 5 stick on board. Do we have a Primogenitor, perhaps? Whoa, it looked like it. It looked like a delay. I saw the movie.
Yeah, I saw the border there.
Yeah, the movie border.
I'm on the edge of my seat here. The thing is, it's like it's such a small margin of error for him to be able to take here. That is return to the Primogenitor into BT16 Dragon mode. Marsu gets a scratch-off ticket.
Come on, one time.
Jack, can he see the future?
Oh no! Oh,
this is starter deck 1.
This is so bad. This is so bad.
It's okay. He can decline the option to play out.
Oh,
right?
that is true. That is true. I got.
So now he basically has a body that can make a Paladin mode, which we know is in his hand. We know there's a Paladin. Actually, Marcio, I kind of like this, bud, because remember what we were talking about with those 2 Leviamons got sent to deck bottom?
I suppose, yeah.
Paladin mode off of Primogenitor now means that when we lose this discard pile, the Leviamon's 3 Levia X, all accounted for, all in the bottom half of the deck.
That is true. Because he doesn't have Levia X, this actually feels a lot better.
It's a real Hail Mary from Prouder here. It's a very narrow margin to play on.
I think he might actually win off of it.
Yeah, it's a very, very narrow margin.
Roy needs like EX5 Levia. And even then that doesn't actually do it. Because because of the Veemon, he gets to circumvent the like second deletion.
Yes. And he can't swing here either, because that's like Paladin mode is an ace. It's a very, very tough road to hoe here.
Let's see. He has a Goblin trash. If he goes into Cerbex, I think he's feeling pretty good because he can go like Cerbex, bring back Goblin. And then that's
as long as he does, yeah, the thing is he's gonna lose. So 2 things are gonna happen, right? He's gonna lose his whole board's worth of sources, and then he'll lose the trash. And he's kind of at like that Dragon mode should basically just be sat like this for the rest of the game. There's no reason to make that the thing that begins to commit resources. In a certain way, I actually kind of think this is a little weird. I actually kind of think there's probably an argument for using Daiken next turn to make the Leviamon come out and play.
I suppose if you're
that confident in your setup here.
I guess because he always has like 2 Digimon out on board, that's like absolutely the way to go about it. So
here we go. He's doing it on his own terms. I think this is correct. Like if you're gonna lose now, if you're gonna lose these resources, it's important to start moving these pieces as quickly as possible.
So delete highest.
So this immediately resolves. Like he's not even gonna get the
Veemon. He should not get the Veemon. Well, he gets the Veemon.
Primogenitor interrupts this effect.
Yes, so mitigate the first, and then he gets the Veemon afterwards. Because the Leviamon has to.
Yes, sorry, turn by priority. I didn't think he got to resolve the full component of this. Well, this is not the card I thought he was making.
It's because it's one effect, right? It's like,
yes, you're right.
You prevent the deletion, but you still have to resolve the entirety of the when digivolving.
I don't know about this one, man. Maybe if he was getting swung at, I can see the fighter mode, but you're still level 6 here too, so it's like.
I think the fighter puts a bit more pressure on his
Yeah, but
turn.
now you can get Biting Crushed again.
That is true.
And you no longer have Primogenitor. Like, you're out here with Primogenitor Paladin mode to make him out of Leviamon and Leviamon X, essentially. And granted, there's now an additional Leviamon. There's the Biting Crush. Oh, no.
So he effectively overflows.
Such a greedy line. He's holding the Paladin mode. We saw it off the Veemon search. It's such a kick in the butt here.
7 Demon Lord and then overflow 4. So he's going to start at, I believe, 4.
Yep.
Now, under no circumstance you can play.
Yeah, it's now no longer correct to use that.
Yeah, even if it wasn't the Biting Crush, like 7th Lightning would have done exactly the same thing. Well,
yeah, exactly. Like, there was no. I don't particularly think it was very. It just opened you up to so much more risk to stay as a level 6.
It's also the fact that, like, if you go into Paladin, right, it means that you're effectively immune from like every Levia removal option because.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it requires them to be able to do Leviamon plus Levi X lightning stuff. Like, it just wasn't gonna work.
And do you remember that if they had the Paladin mode?
100%, because the search off the Veemon
yes, it was a double.
And Pally ults.
Yes, and he took the Pally ults. Yes, of course.
That's what I mean. Like, it's in so many ways confusing. I mean, he's holding a lot of cards. Choice paralysis is real. I'm not going to discredit that, but I do think there are components to this where it's like, in the absence of making that decision.
You want to see a level 6 out of thin air?
Yeah, here we go.
It's a level 6 out of thin air.
We have another protoform in hand here.
Going to Dober. I typically prefer saving the.
I presumed it was Proto to Cerbax here.
Yeah, it's usually like Proto to Cerbax, and then you go.
No, I didn't need that yet.
I mean, all roads lead to Rome or whatever, but in terms of like memory efficiency, like you get more bang for your buck by protoforming into, unless he doesn't have it, right?
Very true.
I think it got put to the top of the security, so maybe he's missing the protoform and he doesn't have a follow-up one. That's like one of the downsides of playing one of the regular X antibodies over 4 proto.
These certain areas where you're missing the one piece.
Yep.
One Piece. Crocodile from One Piece.
Oh my god.
I haven't read the manga yet. Don't spoil it.
We did find it, but it's a little bit too late. It's a little bit too late. I'm not gonna lie.
There's not a level 6 coming. Okay, there we go. At Cerbax.
This goes for 2, but then he gets 1 back because he already got the memory off of the Gobbly, I believe.
Dragomon X antibody 1,
Hopefully.
I love this deck, man. I think Leviamon is so cool because of his weird fish friends, and then he hangs out with these dogs that just chain smoke all day and hate crime.
I mean, it's currently, it was the scatter modes, and we've had the Gabus. This is the next one in the line, okay?
Can I be inflammatory to the internet here live with you, buddy?
What?
I know the EX5 cards are toxic, but I would weep no tears if they got rid of Ogremon and Goblymon from BT14. I do not understand.
Gobbly needs
Gobbly
to
and
go.
Ogeron put me to sleep. Those cards are
Goblymon is very broken.
Yeah, they're too generic, and I don't think it's a good idea. I mean, like, cards that do that in purple should start evolving for 1.
But that's just Digimon.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the purple cycle, right? They'll have like a crazy engine, then they don't have a crazy engine, then have a crazy engine again. The deck goes through phases.
I remember. I just think it's a weird one, man. Imagine being a fish guy and be like, I freaking love Octomon or Geisomon, and then. Well, I guess the Deep Savers are for you.
Yeah, Deep Savers.
In stores January, baby.
I mean, genuinely, like, those cards will be really helpful. Now, looking at the board, say here, the Psychmon, if it was a Gazi, it would be a lot better, but unfortunately it isn't.
Very true.
We're still getting held hostage by the Biting Crushes.
Absolutely.
And
so here's the other component to this, though, is that because he didn't die just now, Rudder isn't necessarily, like, cooked, because...
No, he's chilling.
Evo to 4... Make a Imperialdramon, make a level 6,
Source strip the
proto, and then, like, you're kind of basically there to going back to bluffing your Paladin mode. And I believe we're now like, so there's one Leviamon in the trash, one in the bottom of the deck, two Levia-X at the bottom of the deck, one
Oh,
Levia-X.
he's. I think like the intent on the Evo is like he's okay. Never mind. He's just.
Do it while he's got it, right?
I mean, is this better or I don't know if this is like better or worse. Like, what's is hard playing better than Evoing? I feel like if we
It's
Evo,
the same amount of memory saved because of the Veemon.
yeah, but you get to like put the Veemon under. I mean, actually, I know why. Having the lower body means that like
Yeah.
it creates that same board state that we were at.
Also, if there's a level 3 when the partition triggers, Leviamon will eat a level 3, right? Instead of one of your level 4s.
Yeah, I think it's like if he has Primogenitor, he can effectively recreate the same scenario where he has like the he has the pile alongside a rookie. I think that that's the way that Imperial kind of gets ahead of Levia.
For sure. I mean, forget Primogenitor for a minute here. If he's got a Veemon, he's now got a better HPD target.
Yes, that is also
so
very true.
There's lots of layers to this where it's like, and again, like it's the same net memory, it's just one fewer card.
But the fewer card means that like you just overall have that better board state. So yeah, I think the way that you're approaching the matchup is definitely better. He can swing over the Cerberus, by the way. It does have retaliation.
Yep.
Which
you spotted it.
Which, you know, it would have been really funny if deserved. It would have been really funny if, like, you know, the Imperialdramon partitions and then it triggers the binding crush. That would be so cool and epic, right?
Yep. Although again, if it partitioned, Leviamon takes the 2, you keep turn, you would have a 4 and a Veemon.
No, you'd have you wouldn't have the Veemon, you would just have a level 4 because
you'd have one level 4, my bad. Yep.
Yeah.
He eats. This is a safe space. I think Leviamon's so cool.
Leviamon's cool.
The card is so sick.
I think it's secretly probably like I keep saying this, like I said this like a billion times. I think secretly it's the best deck in the format.
I think right now I agree. I seriously, I've said this to you before and other things. Maybe if you guys are interested in hearing me and Marcio yet, you can check out Misplay for Game. We go live most Saturdays on KnTElixar's YouTube and Twitch channel.
Not this Saturday, though.
Not this Saturday. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, that beautiful Technicolor raincoat in between, we are going out after this. Marcio and I are going to go touch grass. What did I say?
You were correct.
Children's card game.
You are correct.
No, so yeah, check out the pod, but also like, you know, I think this format's
okay.
I do not understand whatever.
This is fine.
It's not got an overflow risk here either.
Yeah, and he gets to swing for 2.
It's not like Hachi.
Okay. Whew. I mean, from this position, like it doesn't really matter. Like as Imperial, as long as you don't pass like a belligerent amount of memory, like technically if they have like Gobbly Slam, it's really good. But yeah, this is wraps.
Love the Leviamon here. Love the Leviamon.
Yeah, Leviamon's very, very good.
Denies a memory off the
I mean, I don't know why we're playing this one out. I think.
Yeah, especially with half the clock gone, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know why we're taking extra game actions. We're effectively burning through like 2 minutes of time if we don't just scoop.
So what changes this one if you're Roy, right? It's that you didn't bot deck 2 Levia-X.
No. It's you don't take the ruin mode.
That's what I mean. Assuming you didn't bot deck 2 Levia-X's and you kept one, you were still in this.
I mean, okay, Drago kind of gets him back into the game, but I can. I mean,
I love target level 5 on play. Bandai, you understand me.
All right, let's think about this interaction. So he goes, plays out a level 4. I think a level 4 is the correct level because you want to diversify your levels. You don't want to have like...
You don't want 3, 4, 5, and you don't want to get blown up by like 7th Lightning Levia-X.
Yeah.
The other thing is, like, if you've got 3, 4, if you've got 2 4s and one of them is with an armor purge, your opponent will just not choose your armor purge.
So he goes, effective play out. Effective play out. And now triggers one of the binding crushes, right?
Well, Dragomon has to finish resolving his own.
Yeah.
So this does matter, too. It's like, if it's Dober X here, that's an extra bit of card advantage. Be interesting to see. No, is Dragomon optional? Give me a moment.
I think Dragomon is optional. I think he's doing it to like I think he can just proc the effect after he procs Binding Crush. He can go Binding Crush first and then Drago.
Yes, you're correct. Thank you. I always forget that it's an all turns after the unplay. Regardless, it does say you may.
So even with a partition. So because he triggered partition here, it means that the Levia-X also gets to proc. Now in trash. Now that there's a valid target. It just depends like kind of how he wants to go about it, right? Because it will be pop highest, pops the lowest, and then get some of the memory back. Purge here is fine. Now, because of the partition, Levia X is free to go, take out a rookie, take out the Daiken, and then 7th Lightning to take out some more level 4s.
Yeah, 3, 4, 4.
And he could then still oh, this is also pretty good. Giving himself blocker's not bad.
Yeah.
And it means that he can still go for... He could trigger the 2nd Biting Crush. Right, so I think we need to take out the Dual Tamer for sure. And then 7th Lightning, right? Oh yeah, the 3 Tamer and then 3, 5, 7. How many Lightnings do we have?
I've seen 2 go to the trash.
Okay, so we're taking 2 out.
I mean, part of that is useful to just not deck out right now. We're kind of getting low to the gun here.
You need to take out the memories, the memory guys. Those are like I think the most important. Okay, and then do you trigger the other Biting Crush? Because the Biting Crush would kill the XV, right? And then that would keep the memory.
He is opting not to.
Okay.
Okay. 5 memory and an Veemon makes Imperialdramon completely unironically, and then definitely threatens them. This Paladin mode is burning a hole in Prouder's hand.
So what? You evolve for evolving to Pile, and then Pile can swing, and then on attack suspend the blocker, and then swing for game.
Swing for game, yeah. He just needs to find the line.
That is the line.
But we've seen 2 Stingmons just deleted. Stingmon died on the stack with no partition. Stingmon, no, that's it. We've seen 3 Stingmons of presumably 8. Or sorry, 7.
That's the thing that's like the most. Again, Leviamon. Again, you have so many actions, and you lose anyway. You have so many actions that you can take, but like the greediness of like the ruin mode for like when you eventually win versus like you know, taking the card that is like most useful. Like you can win without ruin mode.
Definitely. I think the other component to this is also that like to a certain extent part of the decision making tree of like taking the ruin mode was for a scenario where he didn't get cornered so badly by the primogenitor turn. But the primogenitor turn was a total kick in the teeth.
Yes.
Like, even though we still maintain that it should have been Paladin mode and that probably would have won the game on the spot, the turning into the fighter mode put Rory back like 2 turns.
Well, we saw him make a comeback, right? This is not the first. Like we've seen him come back from effectively a losing game 1 into like reverse clutching.
Absolutely. With 25 minutes, though, it'll be tough.
Again, it's like the thing with Levia is you have all of these plays, but remember, make the safest, most efficient play because, like, you know, deck out is working against you, floodgates are working against you. Just do as much as you can to be in a good spot. Don't overdo it.
The thing is also, like, you mentioned efficiency, right? I want to highlight something we've seen literally in Rory's past game where players tend to hyperfixate on the, like, notion of just evolve for nothing, do all these things for... It's not memory efficiency we're looking for. What makes Leviamon so good is its ability to just continually take you off.
Yes, it has like probably
some of true blue control deck in that sense.
It has like some of the best comeback factor in the game. Like it gets to a point where like you can always just make a comeback. I don't think we've seen Anubis in his list.
Yeah, I have not seen one either. I mean, the other thing is that like with the Gabumon X from round 4, I've kind of been thinking it might be a pretty different version here.
Which I think the Dark Animal stuff is like too good to pass upon, and you might as well play like the best level 6 that Purple ever had.
Yep, totally agree.
So
and we know he's playing Labramon too, which is like maybe it's just been variants, maybe Anubis has just been sat in hand with no way to use it really, but why play the Labramon as it's sort of it's just another copy of the Goblimon Inherit, really, like in terms of like your gameplay with it. But like that card is 4 turn Anubis, right? Like that's why
we're not trying to sound like overcritical. It's just more like from like an analytical like standpoint of like if you're playing a deck that sees like half of your deck and your deck has like lots of ways to delete things.
Your one-ofs are amazing.
Your one-ofs are amazing. Like why not play like one of the best one-ofs in the game?
Yeah, again,
there's so many cool lines. Like you can do things like you can play out the Octo from your trash for like practically nothing. Pop a thing, and then the Octo will get you a token that then like pops another thing. Like just little things like that, you know, like really push the deck over the edge.
For sure.
Also, interesting that Roy picked the pure Levia deck over like the Levia Lilith deck.
Yeah, it's starting to see some of the movement for it a little bit. I've been following that one closely. I go to the bottom early. Not a card there's a ton of copies of, so we're likely seeing less Dragomon action this game. Gabumon one of off the rip. Show me a Leviamon.
This is good enough. Good enough.
That's the second Dragomon gone off the same turn too, though. So that does suggest some of our comeback potential is going to be hamstringed here.
So from this position, he can like training plus 4/5 with like a rookie out on board if he has like Octo. We could be looking at like a turn 2 Levia X.
Oh, for sure. It's really important that Brunner gets out here with this die cannon and starts moving. If he's not holding the cards, it's super dangerous for him right now. We'll have to see what they're thinking here. War mana for reveal. Pile, Davis, Veemon. Rough to not hit the mem setter off that one, but that's how it goes.
One target is better than no target.
And I really all thought we'd be on the mem setter die can.
Evo for 2. Tap
a Rooney.
And we could go again. Looks like we're going to commit.
I think this is correct. I think it's make the Imperialdramon, suspend that Gabumon, keep the tempo moving.
It can be. It just depends on like what are we passing turn with. We haven't seen the BT16 Dragon mode, so I'm a little bit more like not like apprehensive, but since we don't have like a floodgate.
Jamming, second Levy X and trash. This is the other thing too, is again, like Primogenitor was such a thorn in Rory's side last game that like it just feels like it is objectively correct to start moving towards gameplay where you are able to go, I've placed my signature BT17 movie themed delay option card down on the board. Are you ready to interact with it? It doesn't look like that though. K-Beats, I think you might have called it from orbit here, Big Dog. Never mind, it's the same dragon again.
It's just okay. 4 memory is way too much. Like if you're spending...
I don't know. This is not right. This is not right.
So we're splitting up our partition and we're diversifying our levels. This is, I think,
not good.
Way too much memory. With a training as well, knowing that they have Dober X plus Cerberus X.
Oh, there goes Primo. That is a huge card to lose on this search.
Levy is also never going to get like ace baited. Like the deck just does not swing until it clears like the things that it needs to clear. And like you could like on Levia, you can win games with 0 security. Like you getting chipped does not mean anything.
I mean, half the time this deck now has a viable recovery line as a protoform too.
Yep. So I think even without protoform, we just go. Oh, when we have the protos.
Hey, but why waste a good thing? Am I right?
Yeah. So this is quite good because it means because we don't have the Gobbly, we get to be a little bit more memory efficient. Draw and trash and draw one, so we're seeing like a ton of cards. Putting the Goblin trash is really good. Sort of like a go-to if you don't have like
the thing can come off the serve in a minute.
Yeah. Typically, like when you're working out like your Levia combos, you want to like at some point in your draw discard, and main things that you're trying to put in the discard is like a level 3 and the Levia X.
Yeah, you want some crocodiles and little guys.
Yeah, as long as you have those two, the rest of your trashes can be like kind of the things you don't need for matchups or like random delays. It gets to a point where like you just don't need delays. Oh, this is really good.
Training for serves, finds more lines here. Recover the Cerberus X. This is so good for Rory.
Yeah, very good. Getting that extra cycle is
massively
nice.
Ahead now. I think we'll make an X antibody where it's like if you've got the name and the X antibody, you get like a fun third thing.
An Omega.
Your opponent has to dap you up.
Sick job, bro. You earned this one. The Gazi is actually pretty good.
Gazi's crazy good here.
Gazi's really good. But we're gonna go for Goblin.
I mean that suggests to me that it's time to extend even further.
It could be
time for another protoform into a Dober.
It could be a turn where we go Proto Dober into Drago as like a way to.
If we still have a Drago after losing 2 of them, I'd be very impressed.
Oh, but the opponent doesn't have any cards in trash.
Very true. Who's the blocker? He didn't say. I mean, not to us anyway.
This is okay. This is fine.
More like Snazimon, because it's got to look fancy out here. So I'd like to formally submit my apology to Powder for my terrible comms. I can't believe your board survived.
So for now,
I don't know what I was talking about. Yeah.
It's surviving for now. If we draw into Levia, Levia is like really good here, right?
Yeah, Levia clears up here, and then you go bang, bang, bang.
You clear the worm, you clear the dragon mode, and you leave them on a level 4. They can't realistically Daiken. Draw 1. It
gets real scary here in a second though, because the Daiken triggering here means Daiken lets you take from any sources, right?
Yeah, you can strip. I think it's
one guy though.
I think it's one.
Right. No, it's any 3 Digivolution sources on your opponent's Digimon. So yeah, both of these.
Why are we discarding so many Levia X's?
Okay, yeah, look, memory keeping turns still viable to keep playing, but like unless there's a Leviamon in hand, we're looking at a board where Crowder can go DNA the 4s, strip the 2 protoforms, and now that trash is a dud.
I guess we're just
swinging.
We're retelling. We're going for the retell.
But it's going to get stopped by an 8.
Yeah. I mean, if he aces, he's actually pretty good because like any like Binding Crush type effect.
No, he's choosing not to. Okay, I actually like this.
He understands why, right? It's like
yeah. Also, 1 less protoform on the board right now in rotation, so
I think
only 1 Levia X can come up if any do.
He understands like why he can't really do it. Like the dragon mode just opens him up to like an option which is like way worse.
For sure.
If we pitch, I mean, sometimes you don't always get what you want.
Another blocker. I like the line.
Sometimes you don't always get what you want, but in a world where like we kept the Levia X, we could have maybe like discarded like a 7th lightning and then clear everything as well. But
I can't help but think that like we're starting to see a knock-on effect of losing those 2 Dragomons really early, because now that the trash is filling with 3s, but we don't have ways to do anything about that.
Yeah,
it's beginning to start to seem like we're losing resources.
Sometimes it's just about like discard discipline.
It's beginning to look a lot like Throne Game.
Powder, I think he's in a good spot. He's comfy. He has 5 security. His Daiken's alive. He gets a rookie turn. He gets a hatch turn.
Just literally needs to show us Stingmon or Leviamon, Evo, tap, Digivolve. Life is good.
Anything, like literally any.
Actually, it does have to be Stingmon. I'm just wrong.
He's in the driver's seat. It is his Honda Civic.
That's Dober X. Oh, there's Stingmon. So it's Dober X under that Serb, right? That was the first one that promoted.
Yes, because it's Gobbly Serb X.
Yeah, and then the second one that was played out that came from the Psychmon died because he got rushed off the Serb inherit.
I believe so.
Yeah,
so caught up again. The Daiken here, so he doesn't have the pile, I don't think. Otherwise, you would have.
Yeah, that's a huge loss to your value here. If he
has the pile. Does he have end of turn?
Oh no! That's a game breaker.
That's not good.
Alrighty.
That is not good.
That's about as bad as yet, because now you've just lost the pieces for nothing.
All right, Roy getting bailed out again. Can he capitalize on this?
Good to think about.
Draw and Trash Run, get some of his get the extra memory off of the Gobbly here, so effectively a nice little Hammer Spark, and finally we got that 7th lightning in the trash.
Where do we go from here? So the other concern I'm starting to have for Roy is like, where are your 6s, right? Because we've seen none off the searches.
Well,
2 Levy in the trash.
I'll tell you where they are.
Leviamon?
I'll tell you where they are. The 3 Levy X's are in the trash, I think.
Yeah, like this is Digimon. They Digivolve in this game. We doing a little math check?
We can't. This is not great. We don't have. We do not have protoform. Oh boy.
There's a protoform under the Serb though, so you still can't use Daiken.
Yeah, but like, I guess 1 memory, like no draw.
It's like I said before, it's such a like a very, very fine margin here.
But like, okay, think about the turn, right? If he goes slam rookie to search, finds the Imperialdramon, end of turn, jogress, keep turn.
I mean, you probably win the game. But like part of that is that so how many protoforms have we seen? That's the other thing I'm thinking of.
I think
so we had one in the first deck and it went back to security, right?
Yeah, and then this is like the second one.
Yeah, and then yes. So provided that we can keep kind of source strip warring with these protoforms, we can kind of keep the Leviamon X's from doing much. This is such a risky gambit.
I don't know. That he's
two is okay.
He's playing to his outs.
Yeah, the Goblimon is coming up now. So
unfortunate.
2 targets. Yeah, I like the promo here a lot. It's so rough to still be missing the Imperialdramon. It starts to make you think they might be in security.
And I mean, Roy needs to wrap this game up like sooner than later. Like,
yeah, he is a game down.
He is a game down. About, you know, if he can win in like 2 minutes, he'll have 10 minutes plus overtime for game 3.
It would be nice if he had a Digimon.
A draw is also like
3 checks.
A draw is also like not terrible. Like if the outcome ends up being a draw, that's fine.
Yeah, EXO round 6 with the draw is all but guaranteed to be like the bottom of the people squeaking into finalists.
All right, pitch it into
so if you're playing for stamped Death Xmon or whatever, I bet those are worth money. Again, like such a very, very razor fine margin here. Like every little instant for Varroy, like all these optional triggers start to add up for Prouder, where it's like where you're kind of playing like Dance Dance Revolution. Like make sure you only stand on the right arrow at the right time, because you do this in the wrong order. If you trigger this effect incorrectly, you are cooked. So that's the other thing with Leviamon. Like it's been, me and Marcy have just been yapping for hours, but like these guys have been playing competitive card games. It can be mentally taxing to arrive at this kind of position, especially being undefeated by round 6. So, one slip up, one little lapse in concentration for understanding how you need to play around this matchup is going to catch you. Did that Veemon promote just now? Am I seeing that correctly? No. Okay.
Okay, so evolving to Levia.
Here's the Gator. Time to start moving cards.
So he chomps 2. Stingmon, Wormmon, gain 2. He has 2 stacks that can make use of the Levia, and it means that like the Imperial player can't you can't, unless he's playing Chimera, you can't make a Imperialdramon with just a 1/2. But he also cannot afford to Daiken, so finally he was able to get into his Leviamon and secure like a game-winning position. If you're Prouder, I would probably think about this game state.
Scooping up here, yeah.
Well, actually, he's the one up a game, right? So like, but even though he's not winning, he's still up a game.
Yeah, but how much time can you reasonably into game 3 from this position, right? Like, there's not a lot of game actions you take as Imperial on 1 memory, and we're darn near off lethal in board here.
It'll be like a Evolve Pile in the back.
Yeah.
Wormmon is not it. I mean, he does actually.
There's Imperialdramon.
Yeah, there's Imperialdramon. As long as he has like memory.
Is it EX1 XV? No, it's 12 XV.
Yeah, they're both the 12 pieces.
So hypothetically, we have memory extension next turn if he survives. And the other part of this is that like we've seen one primogenitor. We are now arriving at the like cusp of Imperial security, right? Where it's like, provided it's not a tamer, and then we don't get a free Levia X for nothing.
So if we look at the turn here, right? Discards the Biting Crush, gets to bring out a guy. I think his deck is to a point where like he's going to have to shuffle the 7s to not deck out.
Yes.
Lopex to buff up his Leviamon so it doesn't really die to security, but 16 can still crash with like some other guys.
Yep.
I have a feeling there's going to be a Daiken in security. I don't know. My heebie-jeebies are firing off.
We swing the alligator. The alligator checks 2. If it hits a Daiken, it checks 3. Then the Cerberus X also evolves into a Leviamon.
Yeah. Pop to
and then that's checks 3, and then the last Cerberus X swings 3.
Pretty much.
So the line is mapped out.
Any scenario where he doesn't go for game, he definitely has the Rude mode in his hand. If it's not in security, he has cycle through the entire deck, drop Rude mode on literally any guy, and you also win the game.
Yeah, very much so.
Gotta play
The
fast.
tunnel vision has caught him before, so I'm a little
Oh, I don't
apprehensive to see
like
it'll
spending
go. This is a
memory.
lot of memory that we're not using to make Leviamon X for lethal.
I guess he's going into. I was gonna go for Drago maybe. Yeah.
All right, this is a good way to start this up, I suppose.
Because like he gets to keep
The
turn.
Leviamon that sat here is going to eat this 2 memory, so
Yeah, like he
you
gets to
get to
keep
keep your
turn.
turn. For this.
He gets to clear everything.
You do get 3 Leviamon X's out of your deck.
You get to clear everything as well, right? Because you'll go Levia X to kill Tamer 3,
Yep.
and then shuffle 7th, pop 4, show.
Oh, he does have to resolve someone Digivolvings here. Sorry, some draw for Digivolution. So if he shuffles 2 7s back but draws 2 cards, he will still deck out.
I think he's playing for going for game here.
Yeah, you'd have to, right?
Yeah. Put them back. And then
take 2. He's taking his memory.
And then evolve. Nothing to delete.
Sort of unsure why. Wow, deja vu. When we cast the BT12 finals at Sulfate, I remember them, or 12, sorry, BT15 going the exact same way. 3 crocodiles like that. So what a card.
Gets to draw. All right, swing. He can, easily pop this, unsuspend. This is the big stack, so this should not die to anything other than an option. Swing again. Yep, does not die, and then game.
Geez.
So 5 minutes on the clock. I mean,
I've seen it done before.
We can definitely be done. I think Roy just needs to be more disciplined with his trashes. He keeps pitching Levia X's to try just always evolving to them for free, as opposed to trying to just, paying 6 to win the game still wins you the game,
Yeah, it's about the efficiency on the board, not out of your mem gauge. So much for the soup, big dog.
Yeah, no soup for me.
Swimming in it with Leviamon, not with the spoon.
So we should be done in the next 10 minutes or so. So looking for today's schedule, round 7 should be around 3:30. So give it another hour for that. 4:30. We should be out of the tournament by around 5:30, I want to say, folks.
Yeah. So 6:30 UK, or sorry, 6:30 Germany, local time for the event, and 5:30 here for Kibbeeds and I will be cast.
Shout outs to everybody in the chat. I'm seeing a lot of people that, I personally know, but a lot of people that are familiar to the European circuit. I've seen Psycho Feather.
Seen a lot of you Discord yappers. Hello, thanks for being here.
Shout outs to East in the chat. Shout outs to Aphoba. He's always in the Tyrant thread. Iona.
Bro was in every thread.
Yeah. Thank you everyone who's tuning in to watch the stream.
Very hype. Now, 82 people? Dang, that's awesome. Isn't it cool what happens when people stream Digimon?
Yeah, stream Digimon, guys. All right. Game number 3. Let me give.
Who's going first? Did anybody do a nice point to the other person to accommodate you and I? Digimon casting would be a lot easier if this whole thing worked like a silent movie where they said something and then we saw subtitles.
Oh god. Going first on Levia, trading no rookie, but then finding rookie straight away is effectively the same as rookie in the back.
Yeah, one card later on the next turn.
This is much worse for Imperial. But he gets bailed out. Not bailed out, but when you have the best searcher in the game, you will take the best searcher in the game.
Bye Dragon Mode. Hello win condition.
All right. Do we have something like a Gobbly or no? Okay, we're just working off the psych. That's fine. Dober is good. Can we play perhaps a boost? A boost would be really good here, considering that the opponent does not have rookie in the back. It means that playing boost, you're effectively being ultra memory efficient, and you can kind of raise next turn. Dober's fine. Dober is fine. I think the plan is to swing the Dober into the opponent's security, and then see what pops out.
Yep, it makes a lot of sense. Gosh, the glare is rough. So that's a Veemon and I think Xemon in the back.
I think it's EX1 XV.
Yeah.
Daiken.
Early. This is the turn to play it.
All right. We are good to raise here. So I want to see what was his thought process between
Protoform, show me Cerbex, Pixelevia. Show me the whole thing. Give me the whole line.
Wait, he was at 2
Ready?
memory. It should have been. Oh yeah, sorry, it's a 2-cost Evo. Yeah, I'm trolling.
There it is. What a surprise.
Okay, but like
Daiken
now,
dead in hand.
he
Dead on
can't?
board.
Okay, yes,
It
I
stops
think
the Daiken. It stops the Imperial.
I
think he's playing very reactive.
I agree. I think that's fine. Gazi's
and
good.
Again, he's doing this with the interest of probably. I'm putting myself in this position here. I expect this to be a part of that because we're low on time. Things are going through here.
How many more rounds? I believe it's actually 8 rounds.
Yeah, we should probably be going to either one more.
At the very least, one more.
Yeah, at the very least, one more, probably 8. 192 players, and if you guys are savvy with the tournament organizing stuff, you can work out how many players that means.
Tom, can you ask staff to see like if we're doing the 8 100% just to make sure?
Let me get in that chat really quick. Keep the people entertained while we get going.
All right, so Daiken. He
resolved
no. The memory gauge is at 0.
Okay, cool.
The memory gauge is at 0, but I think that he might actually just like lose the game here if he's not careful because.
Yep. Agree.
This is like a lot of checks. This is like a lot of checks if he has like even just like regular Leviamon. Like he's gonna pass like 2 memory. Evolve Levia for cost minus. So be for what? For 3. With the training. Yeah, evolve for 3. Choco. Well, no, it doesn't really choke, but. Having to use the Psychmon over something like the Goblin means that like he can't, I mean he can't. Oh, we do see the Anubis. He was playing the Anubis after all.
Crazy late game reveal. I'm getting confirmation from Joker that we will be looking at an 8-round event.
Okay. Why do we keep trashing these Levy X's? We already okay, that's fine. So effect. Wait, he's not. What? Wait, why? Wait, surely we have a better thing to discard than the Levia X.
Yeah, I'm a little apprehensive that this doesn't make sense either because like part of the issue,
even a rookie, like picture, like you had the Gobbly in hand.
So the thing I don't understand here is it's like
it is double level, it is double blue level 4, right?
Yes, so we're still missing the. But, like, it doesn't get you closer to doing lethal damage, and we just hit overtime.
That is...
Anubis to fish for a draw is not the way you top your event.
I like the Anubis. It's just, like, at least you should play out the other body. Maybe not. No, I don't think there's, like, a downside.
This is so defensive. I don't understand. I mean, he's just... This whole thing seems to stem from the idea that, like, could put him on, don't have it, right?
I think both players are figuring out, like, how to do the time rules of, like, when time was called. So, if the game ends abruptly, it'll be because, like, it was either the 5-minute overtime or it'll be... So, yeah, overtime was started at 7 past. 7 minutes. 7 minutes past 3. So we're 3 minutes into overtime. So we do get to use the Daiken here for searching. And I mean, all these actions are going to not waste a lot of time, but they're definitely going to like, the turn needs to be played out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So evolve for 4, Daiken, keep the memory.
Take a turn. And then suspend the guys with fewer resources.
Yep, he doesn't have piercing. So I think he's just gonna go straight for security, which I mean doesn't really matter.
Where did the blocker go from Doberman? Do we know?
I think the Dober was already out on the board a long time ago.
You're right. Pardon me.
It was like in the beginning of the game, right?
Absolutely.
He doesn't have piercing. He suspends the Anubis. Swinging the XV over the Gazi. That's pretty good.
I like that a lot.
And then this way he gets to...
Ding, end of turn? That Veemon inherits looking ready. Holy moly! Don't call it a comeback.
So Anubis is now frozen.
Stuck like that. Yep.
But I don't see this game going into anything beyond a draw.
Well, I mean, it could if the security bombs come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was turn. Did we confirm if that was turn 1 or turn 0?
Well, we're currently. I think overtime should be about to expire.
The Hexablow is big.
I think time on overtime should be called in
a couple moments.
It's literally like in a minute. No matter what, this should be the last turn of the game. So Roy gets another turn here, but he has effectively like less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, and like it's all well and good to pop the Hexablow or Imperialdramon, but like you're not going to get much more out of that.
Yeah, like the effectively a stalemate. It is a draw here for both players. Pretty well played here from Prada. I think at one point.
Yeah, kudos to keeping it together.
Yeah, he was quite behind, and I mean, they're effectively still undefeated, both players, but neither of them will be able to win the event unless like somebody else also goes X1. Oh, sorry, somebody else also has a draw. Which means that we'll probably end up seeing 2 different people for the next round.
Yeah, I expect that a little bit here. Well, or it could be, our table tour is getting a big chance here.
All right, let me bring you guys over to us. So, that was a game.
It went. You know what? We mentioned before, like, kudos to Crider for playing that one out, but like, we watch a lot of Leviamon Imperial games. You watch enough of them, you're like, oh man, like, normally the wheels come off a little bit. Normally there's like 2 crocodiles and you're dead. That one went pretty good. So happy with that. Good display of gameplay. Also,
coincidentally,
he's back, chat. It's his back, chat. No, the exciting part of that one to me is the like idea that a lot of what made that one like kind of compelling back and forth was, to a certain extent, maybe some misplays that can be looked at. That's why VODs are useful. It's good to have these events streamed.
Some misplays for game.
Some misplays for draw. It wasn't even for game.
Yeah, it wasn't even for game.
What's up, gang? Call me Doru Greymon, the way I be causing collisions on the highway.
That was a good one, dude. That would have been funnier if your mic was on.
What do you mean?
Sounded very quiet.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I don't know.